The second DLC for the Saints Row reboot, Dak Ketchum's Murder Circus, is finally out. And I do have to give it to Volition because apparently this DLC is actually working at launch. And if you know anything about Volition's past history, this should really surprise you. But there is something that is very concerning about this expansion, as Volition calls it, and it's that they stole the idea for this DLC from another game that came out in 2009. The first hints you can see this happening is actually in the trailer they released for this DLC. If you haven't watched the trailer yet for the Dak Ketchum's Murder Circus DLC, do not worry. As you can see, we have it up here on my screen and we're going to watch it together. And afterwards, we're going to talk a little bit about the game that they stole this idea from, that they were heavily inspired by, or that they just plain ripped off, whatever you want to say. But before we get into this, before I hit that play button, I want you guys to do a favor for me, and that is listen very carefully to this background music, because it is going to be something important later on in this video.
Welcome to Dak Ketchum's Murder Circus. You want to hear the skinny?
Nope.
Our contestants must fight through a gauntlet of deadly arenas. Ho ho! It's gonna be action. It's gonna be grit. And a whole lot of moxie. Tell Jerry to grab his mop. Looks like we're about to get a little murder in our circus. Nothing like splattering heads to make my night.
Sure thing, pal.
Another one bites the dust, folks. I hope those costumes give these competitors some protection. What'll get them first?
And that is the trailer for this DLC. Now, you might remember that when the season pass for this game was announced that outlined these DLCs, or at the very least told us the name of them, I went ahead and said this about Dak Ketchum's Murder Circus. The expansion coming in July is not even adding anything to the story. All it is doing is adding a new solo mode that's probably going to be rave-based, that's probably going to be a ripoff of the Professor Jenkins Super Ethical Reality Climax, I believe I said that right, DLC, and Saints Row the Third. Before we even really had any information about this DLC, I made the prediction that this game was just going to be a Super Ethical Reality Climax clone, and I was right. And that is because Volition is so unoriginal and predictable that it is not even funny. But I was also wrong, because when you look at this game deeper, you will realize, or excuse me, this DLC, you will realize that it's actually a ripoff of a Borderlands 1 DLC called Mad Max's Underdome. Now, this is the trailer for the DLC Mad Max's Underdome for Borderlands 1, and you're going to see a lot of similarities. Once again, listen to the background music.
My first husband was a dirtbag and a cheat. My second husband was fun. I figured by then that I deserved a toy. All for myself, and that's what I got. Still wish I hadn't broken my toy. My third husband was good with numbers. And his hands. We're still friends. Kinda. We're civil. I'm looking for my fourth. You know, on the prowl. I don't know when I'll meet him or where I'll meet him. But he's out there. For now, I'll
Catchy
get my
music,
jaws
right?
off on bringing pain this way. Or maybe this way. And in the end, the crowd will love me for my brutality. I'll make them yearn for more and more of my pain. I'll be cruel and enjoy myself. When the thrill wears off, I'll leave and find a new toy. Until then, not too different than matrimony, come to think of it. Maybe the Colosseum is my fourth husband, in a way.
And that is the trailer for the Mad Max's Underdome DLC. Now, if you did what I told you to, you might have realized that the background music for this trailer And for the trailer for Doc Ketchum's Murder Circus, sounds awfully familiar. Now, I don't usually have an ear for this kind of thing, but it was abundantly clear that it kind of had, I guess you can say, the same rhythm, if that makes any sense. Now, I know what you might be saying. You might be saying, well, GamerGeek, this isn't really enough to say that this game, that Volition stole the idea for Doc Ketchum's Murder Circus from Mad Moxxi's Underdome. And that is when I say, you are right. But if you take a deeper look at it, you will realize that that is exactly what they have done. Now, if you've never played this DLC, you play one of 4 characters, Brick, Roland, Lilith, or Mordecai. And the point of this DLC is to work your way through the different stages that the DLC has, fighting waves of enemies, acquiring loot, and becoming the Underdome's champion to marry Moxxi. And in Doc Ketchum's Murder Circus, you play as one of 4 characters, fighting your way through different stages, fighting waves of enemies, and collecting loot. Now, normally, I really wouldn't look too closely at this stuff. Sure, you know what? There's similarities there, whatever. It's a rave-based game. But this is Volition after all. You have to look closely at everything they say because they have lied to fans time and time again. And when you look closely at this DLC, you can see a lot of similarities between it and Mad Moxxi's Underdome DLC for Borderlands 1. But there is a little fact that I left out until now, and that fact should tell you all you need to know about this DLC. And that fact comes from Volition themselves, kind of. You see, Volition is a child company of a bigger company called Embracer Group. And once upon a time, they used to work for another company under Embracer called Deep Silver. That is where they got their name, Deep Silver Volition. However, because of the fuck up that was the Saints Row reboot, Embracer pretty much said, no, you are done. They went ahead and they moved all the employees of a Volition over to Gearbox, another child company of Embracer. And if you are a Borderlands fan, you will know that Gearbox was the developers behind the Borderlands game. Meaning that when they started working on this DLC, there is a very, very, very high possibility that they were working underneath Gearbox, the company that developed Borderlands 1 and the DLC Mad Moxxi's Underdome. Being inspired by another video game, it isn't a bad thing. I mean, after all, there was a lot of great video games out there that were inspired by other games that just did what they did a lot better. However, in Volition's case, in the case of a video game developer who has no originality left, who has recycled old ideas and tried to make fans think that they were new ones, this is a very, very bad thing to do. And it just shows this whole situation. It just shows Volition is truly fucked in the head like everyone knew. What do you guys think about this situation? I do not think I need to say that all this, it is just my opinion. It is the stuff I have seen with the 2 trailers, looking back at the DLCs and all of that stuff. I haven't played Doc Ketchum's Murder Circus. I probably never will because I refuse to give any money to this garbage company. But let me know what you guys think about this whole situation down below. And if you stuck around this long, why not hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell? That would really help a fella out. Hope all you guys have an amazing, wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.